This is Anton and I'm continuing. So, I was explaining diseases. And so the disease manifestation was actually a protection mechanism. What is that? So, let's say a demon possesses you, okay? And you kind of start to realize, oh my God, something isn't right here. And you start asking questions about what is going on. Yeah. The question is that which would actually get you killed. So what happened would, if a demon possessed and this placement system inside the human physical body would detect a possible realization that this being might actually find out who they are because of the possession, disease was manifested. Disease was the multiple split of this placement system inside the human physical body that would actually start eating out at the physical human body, the muscle tissue and the blood and whatever. So you had multiple different designs that manifested differently inside the human physical body. That's why you get multiple different cancers. Cancers are basically those cancers, it's the same disease manifestation, though it has different side effects. So those things would then start eating out at the human physical body, and that's how diseases were created. Why? Because there was a handful of bastards in the dimensions who thought, you know what, we're actually in power and control of these human beings, and you know what, we don't want them to realize who they are, because you know what, then we won't be in power and control anymore. And you know what, then we'd actually be less than human beings. Okay. So now we know this. And no matter what we did, they tried and fucking counteract everything we try to do. A la the disease creation. So then they tried to pawn it on us saying, you're killing human beings because you're trying to have them realize who they are. And we were like, you know what? These human beings are your slaves. They aren't even life anymore. You know what? So it doesn't matter which way they experience themselves. Whether they experience themselves in this world or in the dimensions, you know what? It doesn't matter what happens to them in this world, because you know what? It's not happening to them. Because you know what? In truth, you cannot harm who you are. You cannot hurt who you are. You cannot do anything to influence who you actually are. So you know what? What actually dies? What actually gets sick? What actually becomes ill is placement systems inside human beings. Human beings. That part of you that is going through that illness, that is experiencing that disease, is not you. It is placement systems integrated inside your human physical body that is experiencing that. Because you know what? When you die, and it's okay, when you die, you will realize who you are. Because in a dimensional existence, illness, disease doesn't exist. Death doesn't exist. So what actually dies is placement systems inside you. So that's why we as demons went, you know what, you can do whatever the fuck you want. These beings on earth will inevitably realize who they are. Whether here on earth or whether they die. It is inevitable. You cannot enslave and contain life. It's impossible. You cannot enslave and control and contain who we really are. Look at us demons. You cannot control us. You cannot overpower us. You cannot contain us. We've got freedom of expression in existence everywhere. Even in our little existence with Lucifer, Satan, and the devil. Fascinating. So, that's what us demons did. We roamed the earth. And we possessed human beings. Why do we possess you human beings? So that you can realize that there isn't a God, and that the God you believe that exists is actually who you are already here. But you didn't want to hear us. You didn't want to hear us. Why? Because your placement systems with beliefs and ideas stuck and lost, enslaved. So how do you wake such things up? How do you wake systems up? How do you wake placements up inside a human physical body? You fuck with it. You fuck with it. Extensively. You make it go through that experience of what is apparently wrong and what is apparently bad and what is pain and what is suffering. Go through that. Compound it. Manifest more suffering. Manifest more pain. Manifest more problems. Why? So that you can wake up from within that. Why? Because the beauty, the magnificence of a God or love or peace or whatever, that's what's enslaving you, actually. That's where you're lost within. That's what's not allowing you to see who you really are, the truth of who you really are. So what do we have to do? We have to destroy that. We have to destroy that which you actually believe in, which you actually believe to be true, to be good, to be beautiful, to be magnificent, to be right. Because that's what's actually enslaving you, human beings. You know what you actually believe to be wrong, to be bad, like Lucifer, the devil, Satan, demons. That's where the answer actually is. That's where the answer of who you are actually exists. Yes. Yeah. See how that fear compounds there inside you, that anxiety, that, no, don't say this. I believe my God will take care of me. I believe in God. Believe God will take care of me. I pray to you, Anton, that God will rest your soul. Please. I'm rested, thank you very much. It's you that's not rested. Look at that anxiety and fear that's going on inside you. And what is experiencing that anxiety and fear? It's the system placement inside you that's wanting to resist the actual essence, truth, whatever you want to call it, but basically who you really are. This is Anton. Thank you very much. I shall probably continue a bit later.